White planes don't fly over the Pacific Ocean. Hi guys and welcome back to your favorite channel. We hope that you are loving the content that we put out for you. So in that case, subscribing to our channel would be a shred of evidence for us that you really do like our videos. If you are our old viewer, then please also make sure that you have clicked on the notification bell, since it will favor you in notifying whenever a new video is uploaded from our side as soon as possible. Today what we thought of discussing is a topic that interests many people around the globe, and that is why you also have probably clicked on the video. White planes don't fly over the Pacific could be a mystery, could be science, could be a miracle. What do you all believe it is? Let's gather the views of different people and see what everyone has to say about the topic. So, let's get straight into finding out what the mere reason behind this odd fact is. 1. Do planes deliberately avoid the Pacific Ocean? This is a question that remains unanswered in the minds of many individuals. If this was something that you have been thinking about and never seemed to arrive at a logical answer, then hold on, you might as well just find your answer in the video. The very obvious reason that a plane will opt for an alternative route rather than flying over the Pacific is safety issues. The Pacific is one of the most enormous oceans in the world. Both length and depth-wise is one of the main, but not only, reasons that planes do not fly over it. Usually, whenever a route is being chosen by pilots, they choose the safest route, which has some, if not many, airports along the way. You do not want to be sinking in the Pacific if the engine fails. This is a deliberate step taken by pilots for safety purposes. But the story does not end here. 2. It saves fuel and time. The fact that airports and airlines in themselves are a huge business is something that goes without saying. For a business to save as much as they can is a very natural phenomenon. The Pacific, as we all are very well aware, is a gigantic ocean, and the route over the Pacific does not only cost more fuel, but demands more time. Flights are very lethargic, aren't they? Everyone wants to reach their destinations as soon as possible. If there is a shorter route available, then it does not make sense as to why someone would want to pick the lengthier, and not to mention the riskier one, over it. Now that we have mentioned this as a reason why planes do not fly over the Pacific, let's see that how time is saved while opting for an alternative route. Many of you would probably want to debate that the route over the Pacific is straight and not a curved one, and straight paths are usually less time demanding. So, how is it that time is saved? If you have studied the Earth closely, you might have noticed that the Earth's curvature and added width along the equator justify that curving towards the pole can be a shorter distance rather than flying along a straight path. 3. How do people fly to Australia? This might arise a curiosity inside some of you that, if planes did not fly over the Pacific Ocean, then how do people even make their way to Australia? Turns out that planes do fly over the Pacific, but not just that often, and the reasons are pretty obvious. No. At times it is also a good idea to fly over oceans, since every sensible person has lived to figure that flights over the water are less turbulent, are less likely to cause damage. Especially in the winters, when the weather conditions are not that stable, it is always best to take the longer route, even if it takes more time. You would rather want to wait patiently in a fight rather than have panic attacks every other second because of turbulence. That is indeed not a very comfortable position to be in. 4. Jet streams. Jet streams can be often unpredictable. The good news in flying with the jet stream is that it will enable the aircraft to move faster, and you would not want to be in a position where the craft is flying against it. It can be very sickening due to a heavy amount of turbulence that is not normal than the usual ones we face. People having flight phobia will not be very pleased with the idea. So with this, we close our video today. We hope that you have learned that a jet can fly over the Pacific, but it still might be a little riskier for the reasons that we have mentioned. See you in the next video with another episode of more interesting things in the world. Till then, stay safe and make this world a better space.